Hope all you're doing well. I stopped out here to take a look at the studies we've got going on down at the farm here at the Plant Science Research and Education Unit. And one of the things that I wanted to just take a look at was our overseed study, which wrapped up a couple weeks ago, but the plots are still here. And one of the things that I wanted to highlight with you guys is just the amount of impact that overseeding with ryegrass can have on bermudagrass fairway as it's transitioning from being dormant during the winter back into spring. If you take a look at these pictures here, what you'll see is, in this case, you can see the untreated control plots that, of course, have basically almost full coverage. These haven't been fertilized yet this spring. We're in the process of getting everything back up and going, and we can kind of keep things pretty lean anyway, so they don't look as full and green as they would in many cases. But what you can see with these different examples that I've got here is that the untreated controls have nearly 100% coverage, or as close as you can get to it. And then you can see where the ryegrass has died out and the bermudagrass is coming back through, where we, in a lot of cases, have less than 50% coverage with the bermudagrass. So the fact that those perennial ryegrass plants were competing for light, nutrients, and water against the bermudagrass as it came out of dormancy has had a significant impact on its transition back out this spring, and has negatively impacted that recovery. This is, of course, something that can be managed to force the transition to happen a little bit sooner and get rid of that ryegrass maybe a little bit sooner in the spring than what we did here, which was just a natural transition. But that natural transition has resulted in, what you can see behind me, ryegrass that's still holding on at the 20th of May, 21st of May, and competing for light for the bermudagrass that's underneath that canopy trying to come out of dormancy. Hope this is helpful to some of you. It's obviously kind of cool to see. One of the things that this points out is that the breeding programs for the ryegrasses have come a long way in terms of their heat stress and heat tolerance and disease resistance. They're holding on, quite a ways into the late spring and bumping up against summer here pretty quick. And that, of course, if you're managing athletic fields and you need that spring play, that can be helpful, but it does potentially come at a cost, and that could mean a longer recovery for the bermudagrass base that's underneath it. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments down below. I'm happy to try to answer them if I can. And until next time, go Gators.